Hello, friends. Here we are, and welcome to the Rebel Playoffs, round of 32. We have a name I'm going to butcher, but I will try. Arequipa Nurglerers Rebel from Luis Guano. We got a Nurgle team. They're from Rel 2A, and they're going to be playing against Beard to Death, which is Larkstar from a Norse team from Rel 5B. So we've got a Rel off going on. Shadora will be joining me at some point, but he hasn't joined my channel yet. So we will see. Give him a message. For now, it'll be me. This is the round of 32. Let us see where we are. So Luis came through the Mighty Blow Jays to make it to this round of 32. I believe that it was actually going to go into kicks. And Beard to Death from coming through the Flying Rainbow Ponies, taking that down 2-1 last week.
Live, son?
Yes, we are. What was I saying before Shadora so rudely interrupted me?
Something boring and unimportant.
Probably. Larkstar, of course, coming first in 5B. There only being one playoff spot in 5B. And Luis, who we did recap this season, actually, so slightly familiar with him, came third.
Div for a while. I was in his div last season.
Third in 2A. So Rel versus Rel. So let's take a look at what these teams look like. Luis has fewer Nurgle warriors than he used to. There were 4 of them, and they were nice and symmetric because there were 2 that looked exactly like this top guy, Mighty Blow Claw Block Tackle, and there were 2 that looked exactly like this bottom guy, Blodge Guard Stand Firm. Now there's 1 of each of those 2 varieties and a rookie one, so it's a little bit, diminished compared to where it was.
Taking a bit of damage lately.
Yeah, going in with against Norris with only 3 of your higher strength pieces, it's going to be a little annoying, but Mighty Blow can certainly do things to Norse's Armor 7. But that blockless Nurgle warrior is just gonna beg for 1 in 9s this whole game against a Norse team.
Yeah, and there's not that much Mighty Blow left on the team. And
no, just the 2, 3.
Mighty Blow usually has wasted TV Claw. Well, it's not totally wasted. There's Wolves and the Yeti, I assume.
Then we've got the full complement of Pestigors. Sort of the 3 of the standard ever-present Pestigors on Nurgle: Wrestle, Tackle, Sacker, but this one has Agi, which is helpful for dodging in or dodging out or what have you. A ball carrying one with Blodge, 2 heads and Sure Hands, and a killer with Block, Mighty Blow, Tackle, Claw, piling on, and finally a 4th one with just Block, utility Pestigor that could be anything from a guard piece to a frenzy piece, depending on what levels he takes. 2 dirty player rotters, and then another 4 rotters, so a total of 15 players on this team. It's a pretty big bench.
14, but yes.
Yes, 14.
11 plus 3. Math degrees.
I just looked at the number on the left.
I know. It's an easy trick. Yeah, so a nice deep bench is good against Norse. Certainly, you're going to take some damage. They make a lot of blocks. They're a lot more reliable than you, even though they have less armor. So they're going to knock you down more than you knock them down.
I did forget about the beast. Guard, Stand Firm, Break Tackle. Break Tackle it's the 3rd skill there, and these are pretty much the 3 skills. Or
good skills. It makes red dying it a bit harder. There's still that sweet 25% to knock it down, but most of the time you don't budget because of Stand Firm, so that helps a lot. And Break Tackle means he's less likely to get tied up on a single rookie lineman, but those will still happen sometimes.
Yes, so that leaves this team at 1930 TV. They have 80k if they really want to spend it. They probably will not.
You already looked at the Norse?
Nope, that's where I'm going to now. They are over on page 6. Page 6.
Thank you.
Beard to Death by Larkstar.
Ah, Larky boy.
1740 with 1600.
They're down their best player though.
That's very true. So really 1730. What, you're making sounds, but they're not really coming across as words.
Oh, I said oof, and he's niggled. Yikes.
Oh, okay. You just kind of went oof. Yeah, is what came through there.
Oh, maybe my mic's unplugged a little bit.
So Luis is at 1910 and Beard to Death is at 1730. So there's 190k there, or 180 something for them to play with. We do have Old Dutch the Yeti. He's got block, which is pretty much the best he could really hope for.
He's going to be a real utility against the bigger pieces on the Nurgle side, though of course Frenzy plus Foul Appearance is a nasty thing. When your Yeti has to roll 3/2 pluses potentially to make a hit, it's no joke.
Yeah, 2 Ulfs, standard Ulf things, block and Mighty Blow and Guard.
Mighty Blow first is interesting. You don't see that too often. Most people go block.
It is a first season Norse team, so it was probably just to try to accelerate their development a bunch, and it seems to have worked, considering it's a 1 season old team with a 1 level 3 and 1 level 2 Ulf. Although 1 is movement 5, which with Frenzy is a little bit restricting. As you said, the best Berserker is gone, but there is another Berserker, Mighty Blow piling on Dodge, but we're missing the Mighty Blow piling on Tackle. Not the Tackle isn't super relevant in this matchup.
It is. Lewis has, I think, 2 Dodge?
1?
Oh, is it just 1? Oh, okay.
I
thought he had 2, and the fact that
there were 2 Dodge.
But the fact that it's on the Nurgle Warrior is big, right? It means you can never make a reliable killer blitz against that Nurgle Warrior, because the best bet for getting him off is your dirty player lineman. So that is not insignificant in this game, because a lot of times Larkstar is going to be rolling for Pows because he's not going to commit his blitz to hitting the blodge piece with a random tackle lino unless he can get a good foul on it. So
unless you have to shift that Nurgle Warrior because his guard is in an awkward place, he's never going to try to kill the Nurgle Warrior. It's armor 9 regen. He's not going to go for removals on a Nurgle Warrior.
He will probably, yeah. Even just getting them down and stunned is a big deal for Nurgle because they're so slow. They will absolutely try to cause damage to those positionals because that's how they win. Or is either just keeping everything blocked and out of the way, causing a little bit of removals to the Nurgle because they're going to be sustaining a lot on their own. Obviously, they are 87, no regen. So
I think the loss of the tackle is not as important as it is you are making it out to be, in my opinion. But the Agi, I think, matters.
Yeah, I don't think it's game deciding, but it is significant.
There's 2 runners. 1 sure hands dodge sidestep, 1 dodge sidestep diving tackle. So an offensive and a defensive runner is kind of fun. You don't see that too often.
Oh, the ball carrier does have dodge. You're wrong.
Oh, well, there you go. 2. So okay, the ball carrier, it's a little bit of a bigger deal. Frenzy is fake tackle.
It is. It's almost as good as tackle. If you're getting a 2-die into a 2-die.
Guard lineman, 2 dirty player linemen, 13 player team, but also some inducements that Larkstar is going to be able to pick up. Interesting. Normally I would be probably pretty solidly in the Nurgle camp for this one, but the fact that he's taken some damage recently, he doesn't have as much Mighty Blow kill potential as you'd normally have going up against Norse. There's going to be a lot of 1 in 9 potential with there only actually being 5 block on his whole team versus the entire Norse team.
And then Norse also get 200k in inducements plus their entire bank of 150k. This is going to be interesting for the Nurgle.
I don't know who I would bet on. If you were bet on a team, which one would you pick? I'm totally unsure right now. So on that note, I think it's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, they both got similar kill potential. Obviously, the Norse will sustain more damage because they're more frail, but not they've got the same amount of Mighty Blow. They've got 2 dirty players each. They've got the same amount of bench, though I suspect we're going to see Cheney here. You might see Cheney bribe. I wouldn't hate. What's Cheney, 200 something?
There's also always the option of
you'd blow your whole bank, but
dwarf. What's his face?
Boomer.
Yeah, just because he's an armor 9 block piece that you can throw on the LOS and try to avoid an extra claw hit for a drive, and he's cheap as hell. We've seen Ornan do that a boatload, just because he's cheap against punchy teams for the sole reason of being able to have a throwaway piece you don't really care about to put on the line and that sort of thing. Probably not a bad option, certainly. Don't see any posts from any of them talking about delays, so we should be getting going any minute here, considering they're scheduled to start 1 minute ago.
Slackers.
I know, right?
I hustled home from work and everything.
Well, I mean, we're not going to be able to see it until they're done inducements. Like, they might just be in inducements right now.
Yeah, it's probably what they're doing.
That's okay. I will sip my beverage.
What are you sipping?
Nothing exciting. I mean...
Oh, they're live.
Yep, I just jumped in. The leftover junky rum that I had for mixing things and the leftover Pepsi I had from last night. Like, it's just stuff that was in the fridge.
High living. I've got a morality.
No, well, okay, not junky. It's a like dark rum that's basically liquid molasses, so it's kind of hard to drink on its own. It's like the sweetest thing I've ever tasted in my life.
Yeah, I really hate those rums.
No, I love them, but
I know you're a proper maritimer.
That's true. Dark rum is the thing.
So let's see. Let's go back. I don't think I can see the kickoff.
Larkstar has picked up an extra Apo and Cheney, it seems, are the inducements for Larkstar.
Interesting. I would not have gone. I would have gone Bribe, I think, but
or no, that's not an extra Apo. That's just a one Apo. He has an Apo.
Just got Cheney and didn't go for anything bigger.
No, he didn't. He didn't spend any extra money. No.
Okay.
Or he spent some because he had like 180 or whatever. So he probably spent like 30 or 40K or whatever.
The Norse actually won the kick and chose to go on defense. You don't always see that, especially in overtime format. It tends to skew things even farther towards wanting to hit first, so that you can use your rerolls without fear of going to overtime without them. It's often thought that you end up using more rerolls on offense than defense because you tend to try to do more desperate things. I don't know statistically how true that is, but that's the wisdom I've heard tossed around, certainly. So setting up really far back, trying to pull the Pestigore out if they're going to try to take a hit on any of these pieces, kind of leaving them isolated for a counter hit or even a foul.
I think it would be pretty silly to go for a Pestigore Blitz on one of the guys in the back there.
Yeah, you're never hitting them. You're just going to accept that you only get your 3 LOS hits and like take advantage of the fact that the Norse have given you so much space to play with, and which is not something you want to do as Nurgle, or want to do against Nurgle usually, because Nurgle need that space because they're so slow and clunky that I would generally suggest not setting up this far back.
You'd need to move forward one of your guard pieces, which would require a GFI in order to actually get a 2-die on the Ulf corners. So you'd have to GFI with a Nurgle warrior, and then your Pestigore would be 0 movement to escape. Who would immediately get Yeti'd, followed by a dirty player.
I mean, no, you just palm it. A palmer is a way more likely removal than a Yeti.
Well, it depends on where he ends up. Well, that's a good start.
Rock.
Oh, just a stun.
Is that a killer one, though? Yeah, that's the Blotchgarter. That's a big deal.
He's fine.
He's fine, and because the Norse are so far back, they're unlikely to be able to flex that sudden guard disadvantage. First Mighty Blow hit of the game. Just a stun. We are back live now, it seems.
We were never not live?
Oh, I had gone farther back to review the
oh, I see.
Kickoff. Okay, second Mighty Blow hit gets nothing as well.
Using the beast who doesn't have block before you do the other part.
Risking a 1 in 27. The ball is very safe, and you're unlikely to try to move too far up because you don't want to outrange your Blotchguard guy, probably. So.
I was more concerned about like the pest, like the important hit is the block tackle.
Right. Yeah, I would have gone for that one first, absolutely. And now he is forced to make a 1 in 9-able block because he didn't position the wrestle piece here. He's also not going to get a foul, it looks like. So that is a thing.
I would have definitely done the claw hit before doing the beast, but I would have done the beast hit before picking up the ball.
Okay, goes for the pickup first. I mean, he could foul still, I suppose, with a rookie, but I don't think it's worth fouling a rookie with a rookie at this point in the game. He agrees.
And you also have to leave that rookie there because otherwise Cheney could get around. Not effectively.
Cheney is fast as fuck. It's true. I mean, not reliably,
not reliably to the point where Larkstar would probably actually do it, but it would be an option that you're giving him, which is probably not something you want to give him on turn 1.
I would suggest against it. What would that be? That would be a.
if you move the Rotter out of the way,
you could double GFI and hit it once for a 2-die with wrestle.
Like a 2+2+2 die with wrestle.
You have 0 recovery, and the ball is 100% likely to land somewhere favorable for the Nurgle, so I would never do it. But like, yeah, it's worth considering.
Well, I mean, it's not a good habit to give your opponent a 2+2+2 die on turn 1. So leaving the Rotter there is, I think, the correct decision.
Fair. Looks like we're going to go in for a 2-die with either Cheney or the Ulf. The Ulf would need a GFI for the second part of the hit on this Rotter, but not the...
Could also use the Palm guy, but that's also
Palm guy requires a GFI for the first hit, so I think that doesn't make sense. So he might be willing to throw those dice. You'd also have 0 movement to run away, but I suppose that's true of the Ulf. So either way, I think we're going to see a GFI thrown here. This is kind of the problem with setting this far back, is like, sure, it's all well and good. They don't get a blitz, but neither do you. You're basically removing your blitz the next turn.
So you're trading your blitz for theirs, really. I don't get one, neither do you.
Yeah. And on defense, I think your blitz is very important. So not in love with setting up that far back.
Uncontroversial opinions with Shadora. On defense, your blitz is important.
I know, right?
I mean,
that's a dub skull first action of the game.
First action that required a dice, I suppose.
Well, he could have moved some stuff first. This is a bit of a mistake, but chooses to eat it. Doesn't die for it, but is now going to be giving away a hit on a block piece. So this is a guard piece, I should say. So this is a big deal.
Well, considering your opponent's entire team is 3/4 the way up the field, I feel like very much like I would spend this turn claw palming the lineman that's on his feet and then fouling the bejesus out of the Ulf Warner and then just putting myself in a cage. Like, that would be my turn.
Oh, 100%.
Like, cool.
You can even pile on here because you can
protect
the Palmer pretty well. Unfortunately, both of your dirty players are incredibly far away. This is kind of the other problem with this setup, is that the dirty players are spread out, or grouped up rather. But,
and if you want to use the Palm, you're going to have to GFI, but you could use the Nurgle Warrior.
There's no rookie to do it, so you'd probably blitz the Garter.
Why not
the rookies? Because you want to hit the Garter, but I guess you would probably instead just blitz. But that's a GFI.
Oh no,
you can do it with the Warrior.
Yes, that's what I've been talking about.
Sorry, I was like, you blitzed this other line, Neckbeard McNasty.
No,
was who I thought you were talking about.
No, I was talking about blitzing, getting a Mighty Blow claw hit on. Well, the claw doesn't matter. I would have liked to use the Palm, but he's gonna have to GFI to hit the guard. But you could use the Nurgle Warrior, and then you can get a good foul on the Ulf if you knock him over, which is fairly likely.
Yeah. Well, it's a 55%. I wouldn't call that very likely.
I said fairly likely.
Oh, he gets it. What are we gonna get? Oh, just a stun on Jaw Bristle Jim. That's a big deal. That's one of the only guard that Larkstar is the only guard that Larkstar has. Jesus.
Oh man.
Oh no, right, the Ulf.
So this is really tempting. Like, you want to move forward that one space so you can get an extra assist on the Ulf, but if you do it, you put yourself super frenzy surfable.
Yeah, Frank Cheney comes in the next turn 100% of the time, right?
So that's, it's tempting, but it would have been a mistake to do.
You're only gonna have a 1 assist, no dirty player foul, so it's not ideal, certainly.
You could. Where's the? No, it's a double. Well, if you really wanted to make it one better, you could move the Rookie Rotter around the side and then put him in front of the Ulf and then double GFI the dirty player to stomp on the Ulf. But double GFI is... Oh, no, that has to be the lineman if you want to do that. That's not great. Well, you still stomp on the Ulf, I guess. It's
worth the kick.
Basically just a hit on armor 7 without any skills. Oh, he's just gonna foul the rando guy on the floor. I mean, it's a better foul. It's more assists and dirty player, but it's not an important player.
But Larkstar has an enormous bench. His bench is bigger than yours, and there you go.
That's not true.
Given him a numbers advantage. Yes, it is true because he's got Cheney. They both had 14 players, and he has Cheney.
No,
Yes.
No. Look at the benches. They're literally the same size.
Oh, I thought he had 14 players for some reason.
No, Luis had 14 players, and
I'm also not a fan of that foul, Spoony. I don't think you're gonna win this through numbers attrition like that quickly. So
No,
I would go after key pieces before you start looking. Like if you get a couple removals on key pieces or even just random linemen, then you start like going for lineman attrition. But right now, Larkstar has a plethora of substitution options. So I don't.
No, I would like, but fouling the strength 4 guard block piece when like the one thing that you don't really have is guard, and the thing that they do have is guard. Yeah, that's probably pretty worth it. You know, the palm guy and Cheney are also super important targets that I would want to foul if they're on the floor. Anybody else, you'd probably consider it differently.
I understand why Larkstar didn't make that reroll on the Dub Skull. I mean, it's an often memed thing that playoff coaches are just like constantly ribbed for rerolling things in the playoffs. But I think that was a reroll worth making. Like I think leaving your best player, like one of your best players, exposed like this and like now totally marginalized, barring a successful 4+ dodge here. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
so
I
think what we're gonna see here is. I mean, I actually don't know what we're gonna see here. He based up the Yeti, which is bold.
I mean, on the one hand, you are taking your Ulf sort of out of the game for a bit, like you said, and you're potentially taking a hit and or a foul on him. On the other hand, the whole rest of your team was just safe, and like you weren't going to do a whole lot else.
So we're going for a 1 die on the beast. We get it. Nice.
That'll do it.
Yeah. So that's a big deal. And then we could see a blitz come in here on... I mean, the Pestigore is a frenzy trap. So is the Nurgle Warrior.
I don't really like how committed Luis is to one side of the pitch now, especially when he knows that he's going to get like outguarded. I mean, I get what he tried to do because you really want to try to take out that guard, but now you are just tied up with a bunch of guard and you're pinned into a corner on your own turn too, which is kind of a little annoying.
Yeah, I agree. For the advantage that Larkstar has given him, Lewis has not taken advantage of the space that has been created to Dota meme and actually take advantage of the fact that Lark is out of position and you could like take control of the other part of the pitch. So he's made 0 forward progress, maybe 1 square you could debate. And he's pushed himself to the side, which is exactly where Norse want you to be. So I don't love this either. I think but I also don't love that Lark is getting so heavily involved. I think Nurgle win a punch him up with Norse 100% of the time.
The only thing that the Norse have going on in that situation is block and guard, and the 2 guard. One of the guards is stunned, the other one is on the floor.
This is a frenzy trap. Yeah, I mean he sees that as well and elects not to go for the 1 die, the 1 Diaz. Though, I mean, it was with block. It would have been
two die 1 die with block. I mean,
yeah. So I think what you do now is you keep Cheney's a bit as a safety. That's not a safety. That's
the good news is,
I guess it's a threat. Okay, as if he's listening to the cast.
Well, I was going to say that both the threats to him, like the tackle claw mighty blow guys, are way out of range of Cheney, even if he was over there anyway. Oh, Ulf dodge.
Yeah, well, I mean, I fully expected that.
100%. It just worked, which is kind of fun.
Well, the Nurgle do not have frenzy, so you can just put him here, but I'm a little worried he might get smacked again. Well, by a little worried, I mean he's just going to get smacked.
Well, stand with the beast. We get a mighty blow claw hit. Then we'll get another one with the Pestigore that we will blitz on somebody. Hello, kitty. Don't rub on the microphone. Don't do that. Then we'll blitz somebody with the piling on Pestigore as well to get another mighty blow hit. There you go. It begins.
I look away for a second and there's an injury.
My cat is rubbing against my pop filter and she keeps pushing it out of the way and it's very annoying.
Yeah, well, that's your cat for you. So that's not a huge removal, of course, just a random lineman. Lark's got a lot of them, but it's going to start to...
Eventually, I mean, we're down 1. There are 3 to go, and the Apo. In terms of, like, quote, player resources, end quote. An Apo is technically one of those. So now the next question.
So
who do we blitz?
He's got trouble moving up this side because of this guard lineman. Like, sure, you could come in behind and foul it, and I think that's what he's thinking of doing. But
he could claw mighty blow the Ulf if he wants to, and then like center himself a bit in order to not be so on the side.
Yes,
and you can also get a rando Nurgle block.
You mean Wolverine, the movement busted one?
Yeah, you can move the Rotter around to be an assist, and then use the Garmul Gores to claw palm the Wolverine.
He also definitely wants to get an engineer a 2-die with this Pestigore on the Yeti. Even a push is good enough.
Yeah, you say you keep saying things like you could push this guy or you could put him here, but you're not streaming, so I have no idea what you're talking about.
Am I doing that? I wasn't even thinking about that. So there's some risky stuff here. He's got to make a 2-die with no block on Neckbeard McNasty. He doesn't need to do that first.
No, that's just a bonus thing at the end.
Well, he's got to do it before he makes the Yeti hit. So he
doesn't have to hit the Yeti.
I think you want to hit the Yeti here. I mean, if you don't hit the Yeti, your Pestigore or your Nurgle Warrior is getting close. So I think you move the ball over. Okay, we're going right in with the blitz. Oh, we're going after the killer. We get him.
That's an important target, and taking him out of the game would be a big deal. So
ooh, there we go.
That's probably going to be an Apo.
Oh, yeah. Unless this is a perm.
Nope, it's a badly hurt, so I'd be very surprised.
I think you have to Apo that. Yeah.
Apo it is.
Lewis has been rocking the armor break, certainly so far. Though it's worth noting he's only got a numbers advantage of 1 because they've also removed their own dirty player. Yeah, I think you take DP tackle kick for sure. Just have like the utility belt lineman.
Solman Sam. Also, all skills with feet.
I wondered if that would 1 in 9. Push is good enough. Keeps him on killers and the Beast of Nurgle, and gives you an assist on the Yeti. Although I suppose you can't
not anymore.
Yeah, you can't blitz. You have to just pick which one of these two you want to go for. Probably the Ulf. It's an easier hit. Ooh, follows up. I don't know about that. That's just giving away a hit.
Well, now he's going to dodge out the Pestigore instead of trying to block anything there.
I guess, but you could have. Yeah, I suppose. Oh, and there's a dodge fail, I should say. Your ball is not safe. So I don't like doing this before you move the Blodge Guard around. We
have to reroll this.
If you had failed that again, there would have been a gap. If you knock over Lord Pandemic, there was a gap here. Now, are we going to see
or the Rotter
GFI into a foul on the guard piece? I wouldn't hate that, but you got to get your Blodge Guard or somewhere safe. Right? That's not safe. Oh, doesn't go for the foul. Wants to keep this Blodge Guard piece safe. I don't know what because there's nothing with tackle.
I mean, the Yeti could just go for it if he really wants to, but that's probably not the best choice for Larkstar.
I think a 2+ would have been a good assist on Job Wrestle Jim, which a removal on him is a big deal. And now that the Apo is gone, you're very incentivized to go after these key pieces because now it's just a 3+ dodge to get him out.
Just a 3+ dodge, like those work all the time.
Yeah, I've played enough Agi 3 teams that I am both really casual and horrified by the occasional 3+.
At the same time, it's just a 3+, it's fine, but also it's a 3+, I can't roll that.
When I'm playing the game, I'm just like, this is going to fail 100% of the time. He has a 0% dodge rate. Like my killer, if he 1 in 9s and fails a block, he will immediately 1 in 9 the dodge to get away. It's just like Trump's MO, and he usually armor breaks himself and he usually removes him.
Yeah, it's a weird love-hate relationship with 3+ as an Agi 3 team.
I mean, I have a weird love-hate relationship with that killer, that's for sure.
Here comes the Ulf. We're going in on, as you mentioned, Pandemic. Try to get him out of the way.
That is a knockdown. A Mighty Blow hit. No, doesn't get a removal, though. Now, I would be very careful if I were Larkstar here not to get too involved this turn. He's down a player. He's currently looking at least 2 3+s if he wants to get free, 3 3+s if he wants to get Mutton Chops McGee back off the floor. Overbasing here would be a huge mistake, I think.
Next turn, you're currently already taking 1 Mighty Blow block hit from the Nurgle Warrior for free.
Yeah. So the priorities here is you set up this whatever screen you can with the players you have. He's actually kind of leaving a channel, I think. Are we bringing this player in? Nope. We're saying, come on in, Nurgle. The water's fine. So the dodge priority is definitely Neckbeard McNasty, as he's the one standing on Mighty Blow, and then you go after the ones that are on the ground.
Yep.
Tentacles. Tentacles is a skill sometimes.
So now you're taking 1 guaranteed Mighty Blow hit, and probably a second one from the Blitz.
Oh, and we failed the dodge to get the non-Garter out. I would have gone for the Garter, but maybe electing to keep him there is kind of an inconvenient piece for positioning.
He's taking up a square.
Well, he's taking up a square, but he's also saying you need to have a back end to your cage, or Jaw Bristle Jim just stands up and blitzes your ball. Sure, it's a 1-die looking for a POW, but even if it can push him out of the cage a little bit, maybe into somewhere a little hairier, like that's all. Norse always just want to make things messy. Like they have reliable defensive skills and offensive skills. They don't have the armor, but if they have they're really good at capitalizing on turns where their opponents fail to knock them down. So that's what Lark is going to be looking for, is a way to change the tempo here, because the tempo is very much going against him.
Once the pieces all end up in that weird position where no one's really in a cage anymore, and your whole team is spread out across the whole field, and you've got these little like 2-on-2 battles all over the place, that's where Norse thrive.
Yes, because if you start your turn with 8 available blocks as Norse, and all of your pieces of block, you're just going to throw them. Like push there is really nice. Keeps Neckbeard McNasty safe. He's now off tentacles, though I suspect we're going to see... Well, we won't... I don't think we'll throw the tentacles right on these 3 players, because that's just a free Mighty Blow hit for this Ulf.
It's Mighty Blow against Foul Appearance, Armor 9, regen. I mean, what could possibly go wrong?
With a dirty player waiting in the winds.
This is why my beasts keep dying.
Yes, because you're like, they can survive anything, and then it's like a red die from a Chorf with Claw Mighty Blow, and he dies.
Yeah. I don't even think that Chorf had Claw Mighty Blow.
It had some kill skills. I remember it wasn't totally ludicrous. It wasn't like a rookie Chorf.
I don't remember. I do like the name of the beast.
I think you embellished it until it was a rookie Chorf, but we all do that.
My Stays has rated. Welcome along, folks, from that game.
This is well spotted by Lewis. I think he's committing to the block of players, but he does get a 2-die here on this Yeti, and you can't follow it up because God knows that foul would be easy. No, it doesn't get the removal, unfortunately. That was because Yetis do not have thick skull or regen, so they're pretty easy to remove.
Welcome to all you folks coming from Here We Fall versus the Tunnel Sneaks. We're watching Arequipa Nurglerers Rebel and Beard something or other, whatever the title is. Beard to Death. I couldn't remember the name of the Norse team.
You are the best.
Beard to Death. It's Larkstar and Luis one.
Are we finally going to foul again, or has he been totally turned off fouling by 1 send-off? Because this guard piece is still an excellent foul target. He's got to be careful to keep his ball safe, of course, so if you're going to activate the beast, now's the time to do it. Oh, no, don't, sweetie. Okay, yeah. That's good. There's fine. No way to get a 2-die here if you position this Rodder up at the corner.
The only way he could is if he blitzed, and then you're dedicating your blitz to the Beast of Nurgle, and the Nurgle are probably okay with that.
If you put a Rodder to the top and left of this Beast, you make that like somewhere like that is fine. It's impossible now to get it.
The Ulf can do it.
The Ulf would
That's have a 1-die, but he has 1-die with block.
Yeah, but it's not a 2-die. My statement was correct.
I mean, it's also not impossible because there's the guard guy on the floor.
The guard piece. But I mean, I imagine we're gonna see him surrounded, perhaps. Yeah, I think we're gonna sandwich him in with the ball? Question mark? Yeah, with the ball. Cool.
The runner is also dauntless. So but he's the only one who's being an assist. So it's a dauntless 1-die, which is less better because it's like a 3+.
It's a 3+ to have a 1-die. So you could bring in an assist here to make it a 3+ to have a 2-die, which is why I would have liked the Rodder 1 square to the right.
That wouldn't have mattered because the Ulf has guard. So if you were dedicated to doing that, you just put the Ulf in and then do the 2+ dauntless.
The Ulf in. You're right. And the Ulf would then be basing 2 pieces, which is kind of nice anyway. So you're right. But this way you can get a 1 die even if the Dauntless fails.
There isn't a whole lot of like, we're talking a lot about blocking the Beast of Nurgle, but there isn't really a whole lot of benefit to doing so.
Can we hit the ball?
No, but we can hit the killer.
No, we're going for the killer. I was like, I don't see that. Oh, that's terrible. You can't reroll that.
Don't reroll it, Larkstar. I mean, it's important. It's gonna suck when you don't knock him over because he's just gonna crunch Cheney, but you can't loner reroll like a greed hit.
Oof, yeah, that's brutal. And that was even a GFI already. Stands up the guard, so there's that at least, but I mean that's not really gonna save you. This is the bad part about Yetis. You knock them over, and even if you don't remove them, sometimes they just kind of pseudo remove themselves.
Yeah, because unless they're blitzing, it's a 4+ to stand up.
This is a 2-die frenzy block, but it is against Blodge stand firm, so we're gonna need a POW. Yes, first action bad to reroll is true even
if it wasn't loner.
Yeah, I mean, it's not looking good for the Norse this turn. If they get a knockdown here, which they don't, that would have been a big deal. I don't think you can reroll that.
No, I think
so now you're going to be looking at a bunch of tentacles dodges. Oh, no, we're going to go for the Dauntless 1 die. All right.
I think the Norse are going to be pretty happy getting away with going in
2 die. Right, because of course you get the assist there.
Yes.
Knocking over the beast there is a big deal.
Is it?
It means that you don't have to tentacles roll. Oh, he's just going to foul. Don't love that. Gets it.
Good enough.
All right. Sometimes it works out.
10+
Stun there
foul.
is great.
Well, two assists. I think that at this point the Norse are probably going to be pretty lucky if they get away from this drive without a score from the Nurgle. Like, I think that Norse are probably going to be pretty happy if it ends, the Nurgle score and the Norse still have their full team left.
Yeah, we're going to have to see what happens to Cheney here. That's going to be... like if Cheney gets removed here, I mean, you also have an easy surf on this blitzer, or the guard piece, I should say, which he doesn't. Goes for a ball hit instead.
Well, if you wanted to,
it had a negative assist. So it was actually only a 1 assist foul on the Eastern.
And if you want to hit Cheney with the Claw Medieval piling on, you had to block with the ball carrier there. If you wanted to 2-die to get rid of the guard assist.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you could have just blitzed Cheney. But I guess you'd already used your Claw Money block.
Cheney is strength 4, so it would have been a 1-die if you blitzed Cheney the ball.
No, and you wouldn't blitz him with the ball.
I mean, with the Pestigore, and if you didn't hit with the ball first, that ball is not an assist. So blitzing with the Pestigore is a 1-die.
Right. So what I'm saying is you could have blocked with the Pestigore, the killer Pestigore, to push the guard piece into a surfing position, and then come in and blitzed Cheney with something else.
Yeah, but then you don't get to claw palm Cheney.
Yes. I think that this was a fine decision, but also surfing the guard is a big deal too.
I'm more scared of Cheney, honestly. That movement 8 is terrifying as Nurgle. As we just saw, like, he can just run around the back of this big scrum that happens.
Yeah, it's hard. It's a hard piece for Nurgle to deal with for sure. So we're gonna get a couple of 2-dies. We don't even need any more than 1. POW coming. This is a regen piece, so there is that at least. Oh, and there's the regen.
Well, he's gone for this drive at least.
Yeah, but he's back. So the Norse, I think, at this point have officially lost this drive. They've sustained a bit too much damage to really stand and fight with the Nurgle anymore, unless the Nurgle makes some serious mistakes, which is still possible, of course, but unlikely. Making that block before finishing the cage is something I would qualify as a pretty serious mistake. That was a 1 in 9-able block. And 1 in 81s happen, as we all know. And this guard piece could have, I don't know, gone for the hero 1-die into a hero scatter to the runner, into the runner runs to space.
I mean, if you could just put the guard piece in there, and the runner who has dodge could cut a corner, and then 0 GFI to 2-die the ball carrier by using the guard as an assist.
So I don't love that, because you can easily. I mean, you can complete this cage with 0 dice. So, generally speaking, if you can complete a cage with 0 dice, and you do get you don't get a 2-die on this Ulf. Actually, you can have a 1-die with the Blodge Garter which would then give you a 2-die with Mutton Chops McGee if you get even a push. So that's kind of nice, but complete the K. Lewis, do it.
That's not doing it.
Oh, I think he's gonna move this piece of round. No,
that's not doing it either.
You can just 1-die me, is what this says. You want to 1-die me? Go ahead. Oh, gets the 1-die knockdown on the Blotch Guard, or on the Ulf, I should say.
With the Blotch Guard.
Yes. So he's saying, you want to throw a 6+? Throw a 6+. I am not afraid of you.
In Blodge we trust.
And gets a KO for it. And not that he couldn't have made this block anyway, but another KO is a big deal here from a non-kill piece. The Norse are, I mean, they have 2 standing players on this turn. It's not looking great.
Can we do anything to make that better than 1-die? No, we cannot.
No, because this piece stops from running around. I think what he's saying here is even if you get the ball on the ground,
it doesn't matter. So 2 options I see really for the Norse here. One is the YOLO, like 1-die 6+ blitz, just to annoy the Nurgle. The other is you could blitz with the floor from the Yeti just to like have a 2+ for him to stand up rather than the 4+ and make him at least relevant next turn. Which I think is probably pretty reasonable.
Yes, Larkstar has given up on the drive, is what this is screaming to me, is I'm going to run away and hopefully nothing bad will happen to me. Gets a claw hit on this Pestigor, which is, I think he wanted a push there so he could get off. Ooh, he's going to dodge. Doesn't reroll, but the armor holds, so the Yeti is fine.
Well, that's annoying. I mean, the blitz from the floor is we can have the Yeti on his feet for the next turn and not have to roll the 4+, and now he's on the floor again.
No, I mean, no, it's to make it so that he doesn't get hit.
He wasn't going to get hit on the floor, so...
Right, but he's trying to get him up and away, you know? I will be right back as this thrilling half concludes.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose if you didn't dodge him, he was just going to get claw-palmed. So, probably worth it. Just annoying for Larkstar. It was invoked, but not actually tested. Oh, there's a really stupid. Beast staying on the floor with his Yeti brethren. The strength 5 play pieces just not wanting to play this game. That is accurate, Luke. I mean, this team has basically removed its way through the whole season. Like, the number of teams that Luis has absolutely annihilated by just, like, removing them to death this season has been utterly incredible. Like, look at his, like, all the match reports. It's silly. Which is fun, because it's not like he's even the most killy team around. I mean, there's 2 Claw Mighty Blow Nurgle Warriors and 1 Claw Palm Pestigor. So the 3. There are way killier teams in Rebel than that.
I mean, to be fair, he used to be killier, and Lewis's reputation as a killer Nurgle coach comes not from his team, but from his ability to roll injury dice.
That's what I was talking about while you were gone, yes. You like to keep coming back and then saying the exact thing that I just did.
Almost like we cast/hang out together a lot.
I know, and like you don't listen, but this one is excused because you physically weren't at the computer.
But you had to throw that shade in anyway.
I know, it's important. That's a failed GFI.
Did you re-roll that? I re-roll that, yeah.
He does re-roll it. Wolf foul with the dirty player. I like it. Oh, well, these foul. All right. Double ones. These rotters. These rotters are just either the ref is really on point or the rotters are like, we don't want to play dirty, coach. Don't make me do it. That's two for two so far. Or the rotters just not doing anything, getting themselves sent off. I mean, the good news for Larkstar is that assuming these KO rolls, well, actually, even if both those KO rolls don't work, he's going to have a full team going into the second half. And Luis has worked his own way through 2 of his 3 bench with just fouls. So even if those KOs don't come back, we still have a full team for the.
This game is far from over, but this drive is over.
Oh yeah, this drive was over 2 turns ago.
Mm-hmm.
The ref was bribed by the Norse ahead of time. or maybe the ref is like secretly a Nurgle player. It's like that. Oh, what year was it?
The ref is a Norse player.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm gonna make a super obscure Olympic hockey reference now. The Canadian and US women's gold medal match in like the first time women's hockey was in the Olympics, like 2004, 2002 or something, where the lead ref was American and called like 10 billion penalties on the Canadians, and almost all of them were nonsense, and was then later banned from reffing because of how unfairly the game was reffed. Nice. It's that.
Going for a floor blitz with Mighty Blow on the killer. This is like praying for a high roll, basically.
Well, I mean, we're giving up the drive, basically. I mean, you kind of have to. You don't have any other choice. So he's just using his Mighty Blow to try and remove something, and that's the most important player he probably could remove that was available for him to hit.
He's going to reroll this, right?
He already rerolled.
Oh, sorry. I'm behind somehow.
Oh, okay. Sure. I don't know how, but yeah, he rerolled.
I think my game froze for a minute because, cyanide.
Yeah, it was, I mean, 3 rerolls, 3 turns, and all you're doing is blocking, so why not? Well, as the Nurgle, this is where you decide how greedy you want to be and whether it's worth it to try to hand off the ball to somebody more important. And if so, move that player up. And if not, move everybody down to start bullying these Norse for 2 more or 1 more turn, I guess.
I mean, it's also true that the Norse currently have a hit on the ball, so be careful.
That's true. You should probably hit that runner.
Got a side step, though.
I mean, that's fine. Hit him. I mean, like, hit him with the, blitz him. Well, not blitz first. Hit him with the Pestigore, and then if he's still on his feet, blitz him with the Claw Palm guy. But all you really have to do here as Nurgle is pay attention to whether your ball is safe or not, and then hit stuff. I mean, you could put that Rotter like in the way of the ball just so that it's like a little bit of a screen before you do things. The Rotter does, you keep the Agi guy safe, and the Rotter doesn't really matter. So you can put those guys as a bit of a screen for the runner if something horrible happens, and then you can 2-die the runner with the Block Pestigore, and then if that fails, you blitz him with the Claw Palm, and if it doesn't fail, you can blitz something else with the Claw Palm, like the Ulf. Just straight up going for the blitz first. If we didn't knock him down, we didn't get a second try there because he could have sidestepped to next to the beast.
It was a 3-die, though. That's what he was going for.
That's true. I mean, it's pretty likely to work, but if it didn't work, it doesn't give you a second attempt.
And I think he could... Oh, yeah, we're going to see a pile on here, I imagine.
Oh, 100%. No reason not to. I mean, I guess what you hit there depends on how greedy you're being.
Ooh, that's a big one.
It's an injury. No more Apo.
Yeah, MG too.
It depends on how greedy you're being, I guess. Like, if you wanted to ultra maximize your advantage here, you take the block hit first, and then if you're super lucky and that does something, you can then Claw Palm something else, and it's the potential for 2 removals. But if you want to be safe and like guarantee that you, or all but guarantee that you knock over the one guy that can hit the ball, then doing the 3-die is better. Depends on how like much of an advantage you want to try to, how much of your luck you want to push, I guess. And I think both are legitimate. It depends on how lucky you're feeling, or how much of an advantage you want to try to steal from the game.
There we go. Pal.
Oh wait, no, that's the dodge guy. So never mind. I thought we were here we going, but we're not.
Elects to allow himself to be pushed, hoping to get the Yeti on the nerve. Ooh, finds a POW. This could be...
Claw! Kill him!
Yeah, that's a 12 into a...
So why did we not stand firm the first time, but did stand firm the second time?
That's a good question, Ben.
I mean, the Yeti would have been... No, the Yeti would not have been an assist because he doesn't have guard. And he would have just been marked up against Claw for next turn.
The order being flipped on that might have been nice. That would have been a Kaz, of course, on a 12. So...
Oh, yeah.
KO can be almost as good against Nurgle.
We didn't even need the Claw. Just 12. Well, both regen and the KO are a 4+, I guess. Well, we've made the dodge. Are we trying to see if there's anything else we can do for hits? I mean, we can. We can hit the other Nurgle warrior with the guard piece. Or the Lino, or the Ulf, actually. Oh no, the Ulf is a 1-die. But it's a 1-die into a 2-die? Nope, foul appearance. And it gets the Ulf away from the claw, so that's probably good. Does re-roll it. Words are difficult.
It's a follow-up 2-die here, so this is fine. This push here is fine.
Yep.
Oh, you just had to push him center. Now you don't get a 2-die. Oh, he wants to foul.
The killer?
Going for a no assist foul on the killer. Which is regen.
He's just trying to get...
Hawkeye ref continue? Yep. Yes!
This ref is ridiculous. I mean, we were just trying to stop another claw palm hit coming in. Like, if we got a stun there, we stop the claw palm. Whereas now Luis is probably gonna like claw palm the Yeti and then score.
I will give you a free claw mighty blow 2-die in exchange for a no assist foul on your killer, so he doesn't claw palm me next turn. I don't think it's a great trade, to be honest.
Oh yeah, that Nurgle warrior is claw mighty blow.
Do not make this, Lewis. You're insane.
Did he just make a beast block before scoring?
Oh my god, crazy bitch.
That was bold.
Can I get some bolds in chat?
Yeah, no nonsense. Play a good, clean, murdering each other to death game. Just no fouls, only claws.
Oh, God. That beast activation gave me anxiety.
No take, only throw.
Yeah. Only throw game.
That was terrifying.
No, Lewis is the man who, when we played, who elected to rather than 2-die tackle hit my ball, chose to instead 2-die hit my killer.
Yeti.
He's fine. So
for now, that could change.
You can't afford the pylon here. He'll get fouled.
What?
I'm being sarcastic. I'm sorry. He got better.
I like how if you zoom in on like the Pestigor's hoods, the ones that don't have eyes, like there's no eye holes, every once in a while you see where their eyes should be twitch because the like animation of them doing things with their eyes goes off and they still have eyes under there apparently. Like
nice.
Their eye holes twitch. It's weird.
But yeah, when in my game, Lewis chose to make a 2-die against my killer instead of a 2-die against my ball, and then just 1-die 6+ to my ball instead. So he's not someone who is risk averse, shall we?
Oh, the KO is back for the Nurgle. Do the KOs come back for the Norse?
No, 0.
They do not.
They get another shot at it. This is just round 1.
And they're only down 1 player currently. So they need, as long as one of those guys come back, they still have a full team. And if they make 4 KO rolls and all 4 of them are under a 4, I would be impressed with how unlucky that is. So far, we've got 2. But the Norse get a couple hits here. A Mighty Blow, probably a Palm, and there's a Claw Yeti hit as well.
A lot of good hits this turn.
Technically, Cheney is also a Claw, but he's also Wrestle, so that's a little less likely to get damage than the Yeti is.
No, you definitely prioritize Mighty Blow. Mighty Blow is a lot better on AV8.
It is, yes. But I mean, if you don't knock someone over, you have a Blitz option, and if you've used all 3 Mighty Blows, you probably want to use either Cheney or Yeti as your Blitz. Mm-hmm. And we could also just be going for the 1 turn with Cheney, but I don't think we are. I think we're just setting up for a boatload of LS
The Cheney
blocks.
1 turn is theoretically possible, but very hard, and a back screen defense is, effective at stop.
Yeah, he's turns out Loner is not really great at attempting to be you don't have the rerolls. Although we aren't set up for just straight Mighty Blow blocks.
No, I mean, this looks sort of like a 1-turn attempt.
Sort of. I mean, we do have the Frenzy Ulf that could come around the back.
Yeah, but you need to fill this hole.
No, not if he comes from here.
No, if he goes in the middle person.
Yeah. We'll see what he does. I don't really know what this is. I feel like I would just be setting up for a boatload of there. This is more mighty blow punching. Yeah, there you go. I was gonna say I think he set up was considering the one turn and then decided against it.
I think he's gonna go for it.
Yeah, maybe. I can't tell what you're doing, Lackstar. Make up your mind. I can't decide whether you're trying to one turn or whether you just want to mighty blow stuff. It looks like a one turn again.
It's 100% a one turn.
Not if he keeps moving Cheney away. Well, I guess Cheney the runner doesn't have loner, but you need an extra push because he has one less movement, so it's probably better. He also has sidestep. A lot of decisions.
Also has dodge for the end.
Yeah, the runner is better to do it.
Cheney has catch, so there's a built-in reroll there.
Yeah, but he also can't use a reroll, so 6 of one, half dozen of the other. Cheney could blitz the back line, but he has wrestle, which is kind of scary, and you can't use a reroll. Well, no riot.
Riot would have been good for the
This is why I advocate for security gates in games that you have to win as like a Nurgle or a punchy team. Because things like this would be very bad if suddenly your opponent had a 2-turn.
Instant fail.
Because well, we can reroll it. You set up
if you're committing your reroll this early, I would say go for damage. Yeah, and he agrees.
And a backline setup like this means that you're not going to be able to defend against the 2-turn very well if we did get a riot. So security gate good. I mean, usually, but like not technically.
Sturdy rotters.
Well, generally, no, you're probably right because it takes the movement, so you wouldn't have the movement left to get there. Because the block stops to your forward progress. So unless for some reason you've given yourself one extra push than you needed, which sometimes does happen, a both down kind of probably ruins it. That's true. Well, the riders don't do anything. But we can try to get a vanity pass with Jaw Bristle Jim. Good job, Cheney.
We did it.
You caught it. Good boy.
So 4 mighty blow hits on rotters. Not even a break.
Yeah, that's disappointing. You would have liked at least one.
Yeah, I mean, like, the Norse are in decent shape given how the game is going, and the 2 removals on Phallus has been really nice, of course.
There we go.
That said, like, their removals have been garbage. Their breaks even have been garbage.
Yeah, if the Norse got 1 removal there, the Nurgle didn't have any bench anymore going into the Norse's drive, and if they got 2 removals there, the Nurgle are down a player, which would be, pretty convenient for them going into the second half. But as it is, the Nurgle still have their bench of 1, so they're not going to be scared to foul with a bench still.
So the Norse are also out of... they have no more bench, so...
Yeah, Nurgle are up 1, quote, in that they have a bench.
And the Norse are, of course, down their runner on top of 2 Linos, so a big deal there for sure.
The inducements were Cheney.
Yeah, just Cheney, which he had to bring a little bit from the bank for, I think.
I don't remember how much Cheney costs. Like 2 something?
I believe he's 220.
Yeah, it was like probably spent like 30k or something like that to get Cheney. I don't remember the numbers exactly, but it was like sub 50 for sure.
Yeah, he had 200k in inducements exactly once he shed his 10,000. So
did he? Okay, there you go.
Yeah,
I thought it was like 190 or something.
I know, cheating. 240k, so he spent 40k out of his bank for him.
Probably not unreasonable.
Yes, Norse do struggle pretty heavily against Nurgle.
Although
one of your main advantages is the fact that you can make a lot of blocks, and Nurgle punish that with foul appearance and regen. So,
although if you told me that the Norse were going to be going into the second half with a full team, I would be surprised. So
I mean, some of that claw's bloat. There's still like usually armor 8 targets you can hit. But yeah, it's not as good. But a lot of the basic Nurgle skills are very strong against Norse.
Cheney is armor 8. The Ulfs are armor 8. The Yeti's armor 8. That's some armor 8 for you.
Yeah, it's not quite Zon's. Hey, look, that security gate's doing work.
Round number 2 for the security gate. Oh, and now we get the Blood Bowl glitch where it keeps making the sound for a while.
Well, nothing happens.
Yeah.
I'm also frozen.
Yeah, it was just
back up. Oh,
no, it's fine. It was just the security gate sound, like riot sound, going thump crunch, thump crunch, thump crunch, and playing out the sound file, despite me having skipped the like animation stuff because cyanide.
Will the mighty blow do more this time? Well,
Call function, play sound file. Don't do anything else until sound file is over.
Something. If the Norse can have the same sort of drive the Nurgle had, this could very much still be a game. I don't know if orcs are worse. I think lizards suck, but the Dauntless helps a bit, and the fact that you have natural skink killers are good. I don't know. I think Nurgle might be the worst matchup for these guys.
Oh, for Norse? Orcs, depending on how much guard the orcs have, would be pretty terrible.
Dwarves can also be hard too.
Yeah.
Any team that like wants to stand and fight and is better at it than the Nurgle, or the Norse rather, and like has AV9 to make all the fact that they're going to be taking more hits less impactful. Because one of the ways that Nurgle really struggle is that they don't really have a lot of great guard access.
Which is weird when you say that about a team that could theoretically have 9 guard on normals. But it's true.
Wait, what? Norse? No.
You said Nurgle.
Oh, sorry, I meant Norse. Norse have limited guard access. They only have 4 positions.
5.
Well, 5 if you count the Yeti, but he's not a great guarder.
Yeah, so as soon as you run into matchups like orcs or dwarves where the whole team has guard, your like strength advantage quote with the Ulfs and the Yeti kind of vanishes pretty fast and you can't do much about it. Yeah. And then suddenly you're a under-strengthed, under-armored team getting punched to death, and you don't have the agi or speed unless you have good runners to do much else about it.
Sure Hand's doing a thing, picking up the ball. This is pretty straightforward chain push if you want it on Davian the Anomic to give him an easier dodge out if you hit this lino. But I mean, as Nurgle here, you just kind of get in their face a little bit. Flex your strength advantage. The tackle is way over here, so this blodge guarder is pretty safe.
Yeah, I mean, as the Nurgle here, what would I do? I mean, I would make sure that my pieces aren't spread out all over the, like, that I wasn't leaving an easy angle for Cheney to get anywhere useful. That movement 8 is pretty terrifying. Like, make sure that you have most of the pitch at least slightly covered, so if he tries to potato, something is fine. And then priority number 2 is hit something with the claw palm, basically.
Yep. I don't think I'd commit the beast to this little circle of triangle of Mighty Blow players. That's just getting your beast Mighty Blowed for free. I don't think it's worth it. Sure, you can say like, oh, but then he's committing players, and sometimes it fails, but also sometimes your beast gets armor broken and is no longer in.
Yeah, but on the other portion of that argument, the beast isn't incredibly useful in this matchup.
I disagree. It's one of your guard pieces. It's incredibly important.
It's one of your guard pieces, but he's slow and really stupid and probably not likely to be in a good position for most of it. And your opponent has Dauntless and block where they're just going to 1-in-9 you or not uphill you frequently.
He's less useful, but he's still like incredibly important to the Nurgles.
I think he is not.
I don't think he's expendable enough that you give away Mighty Blow 2 dies on him for like the Norse have to commit literally nothing to get a 2 die there. So I mean, if you stand up a bunch of players, they have to make some blocks first, but that's it. So is going for the chain push. Does just get a push. Yeah, I think keeping the lineman on these pieces makes a lot of sense. And he can just stand up this Rotter because the Rotter is no longer in any danger of being blocked, really. This isn't bad. He's got 2 Norse players, very committed. This is all about maximizing blocks as Nurgle. They would like you to zoom in a little bit, Ben.
Would we?
Well, they would. I don't really care. I have control of my own camera. I am more zoomed in than you, certainly. Now, what do you do if you're the Norse here? Well, you Yeti Blitz first action. That's what you do. So I think the answer is you take control of this right-hand side of the pit.
Yes.
And you perhaps foul this Pestigore? I don't know how much I love that. This Pestigore is incredibly unimportant. And you're already... I mean, you're kind of in a position where maybe you feel like you need to take risks.
The biggest thing, there's like sort of 2 things that you have as this Norse team against this Nurgle team that are useful. One is the fact that a lot of your team has block and only some of their team does. But more importantly is that your runners and Cheney are so much faster than most of the Nurgle team that if you ever get the Nurgle team slightly overcommitted, just running by and getting safe is pretty easy, considering how they're not going to really be able to catch up with you. So I think taking control of like the right hand side and either forcing the Nurgle to back off and get in front of you, or just having the option like, if you don't do something about this, I can just score her. Like,
well, what he's also saying here, which I like, or what he's also doing here, I should say, is forcing. Well, I mean, leaving Lewis's best Nurgle warriors on this left-hand side of the pitch, which they're going to be marginalized for a very long time. Yeah, I dig that. I don't love basing the blodge. I think
the Yeti's in a cage. Give the ball to the Yeti. Just ignore the fact that one of the cage corners is your opponent's player.
Yeah, I was just gonna leave it.
just ignore that part. It's a cage formation. It's completely safe. All that matters about cages is the fact that you make a number 5 like it is on a dice. That's all that matters. Doesn't matter what the players are. Just make the formation and you're safe. That's how cages work. Trust me.
So this is a 3-assist dirty player foul on Pestigore. I look forward to snakes. Best ref ever!
This ref, every single foul, the ref has sent them off. 4 for 4 fouls. That's incredible. Was it even... No, double twos. This ref is ridiculous.
This ref fucks, yeah.
This stupid little... have you even watched that show?
What?
Silicon Valley?
No.
Okay.
I think that's just a meme. I don't know if they can claim like ownership of this X fucks.
Yeah, it came from that show.
Did it?
Yeah. Yeah, there's just a really rich like tech billionaire douche guy that kind of shows up and like is doing, you know, quote charismatic power moves to people and like walks up to one dude is like this guy fucks, right? Like it's he was doing like, you know, sort of that charismatic businessman kind of stuff and just pointed to one of the characters and said,
3 of them were 1 in 6s and one of them was an actual break, so it's a 30% more or less.
That one was also a break. The one
I think this was the first break we had enough. Oh no, one of them might have been a stun into a stun. So yeah, it's a 1 in 6 if the break doesn't happen, and it's a 30% if it does. It's not quite a 1 in 3.
I think there's been 2 30% and 2 1 in 6s. What about lizard wizards in a blizzard? Lizard wizard blizzard.
Didn't Magic actually meme and print a lizard wizard?
I mean, probably. The Magic has done everything.
I think people also really liked bird wizards for a while. Nurgle are taking some time to consider what to do this turn. The answer is immediately 1 in 9. Lewis, please stop making 1 in 9able blocks.
I mean, why would you hit with? I mean, why would you hit with him first?
Because you get rewarded with a removal.
But like, you have the other thing you're gonna do is make a claw mighty blow hit, and that one does have block. Like, why not do that one first?
Look, Ben.
I mean, he wanted to free up that Rotter, I guess, but unless you're doing that for something that's happening right now, I don't understand.
They elected him to lead, not to read.
That's true.
Okay.
Simpsons.
The Beast of Nurgle is tying up
Simpsons
a single
movie.
lemon.
I have not seen why kids love Cinnamon Toast Crunch. It's the taste you can see.
The radium.
It glows.
See, look, if I'm Lewis, I'm saying, look, I made one unsafe block and I got a removal for it, and then I made a safe block and I didn't get a removal. Results-based decision-making says...
It's great. What was the other cereal that had the marketing campaign about how adults didn't understand? Apple Jacks.
I don't know. That sounds like a garbage cereal for garbage people.
We don't really have it here, but we always saw commercials for it on TV as a kid. And there was that whole, like, why you kids like this cereal? Does it taste like apples? And like, no, they're Apple Jacks, or whatever the hell the commercial was.
Oh, I do remember that horror show.
Yeah. And I always wondered, because we saw that commercial all the time as a kid, but we never had them. Like, they just don't have them
I'm going to make a prediction. 2+ dodge fail into dead Pestigore.
No, we're going to 2+ dodge fail into a stunned Pestigore.
Dead Pestigore.
No, we're both wrong.
Why do I never get to have fun, Ben?
What is this? Why did you bring me a glass of something? Is this mine, or am I just sampling it?
Look, the best cereal jingle is the unofficial jingle for Fruity Pebbles. If you haven't seen it, do yourself a treat. Google Fruity Pebbles jingle and witness the magic. It's like one of my favorite videos on the internet.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good. The best video on the internet, Ben.
Fruity Pebbles, Fruity Pebbles. Also, have never had.
Stays crunchy in the blood of kings. Fruity Pebble. Oh, we're committing to the Beast of Nurgle. Oh, we're blitzing the Beast of Nurgle. Oh, that's a foul appearance.
That's a reroll.
That's a loner fail. I don't give a shit about the cereal. I only care about the jingle.
I've never had the cereal. Americans have a much larger cereal selection than we do.
Fact. So this is pretty bad, I would say. Somewhere in the ballpark of extremely bad, maybe.
I'm boring and really like Cheerios, but that's probably not surprising.
Tristan's a huge fan of the chocolate Cheerios.
I've never had those.
We now have a Juan Diaz, which is going to be a skull. Yeah, you have to just take the ball back. You've got no other option.
I'm also a big fan of Harvest Crunch and Mini Wheats.
You stand firm here.
I mean, Cheerios are great, but saying that your favorite cereal is saying, like, cardboard is your favorite, like, building material. At least I'm not singing this time. This is what happens when I'm on a cast, everyone. The other day,
to be fair, I just feel bad for Larkstar at this point, so talking about how the game is going has gotten depressing. And so switching to talking about cereal was the natural segue.
I mean, the last game I cast, I both talked about, maple syrup as one does, and also sang Stacy's mom.
Maple syrups again?
Yeah. And I also sang, because someone was talking about it in chat, and I also sang Stacy's mom.
It's a good song.
But it was, because it was the coach was a Nurgle coach named Stacy, so it was Stacy's Bond because based on Nurgle.
Stacy gave my Chaos team the most brutal drubbing I've ever. I sustained 11 or 12 Cas, I think. It was good, really good.
I've been brought whiskey that is incredibly peaty.
No, it's yours.
Oh, you brought me mine? Good.
Yes.
What's the really peaty one? Like a villain?
No, it's an Irish one. But yeah,
it's not hard to get him to sing. If you just ask him to, he'll do it.
It's one of those like whiskeys that tastes like you're like licking the bottom of a lawnmower. Emily is a big fan.
I like the ones where they taste kind of like a peat bog on fire.
Yeah, you would get along with Emily's choices then. I prefer the ones that are more like standing near a campfire and sort of breathing deeply.
Tristan really likes the smoke fire ones and the caramel ones, and nothing in between.
Yeah, so I like, I think Bowmore is probably one of my go-tos.
We have several bottles of Lagavulin because we always buy it when we're in San Francisco.
Lagavulin is similar.
It's super smoky and peaty.
I think it's from the same area. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a huge like whiskey dork, but there's like you classify whiskeys like where they're from. There's like 6 different Scottish locations that they like classify them, and I think Lagavulin and Bowmore are from the same area, if I recall correctly.
Beast 1 and 9 kills itself on the Yeti.
There you go. Travel Scrabble's got it. That's what I was thinking of. They are from the same place.
I guess you can go in with the Wrestle Piece instead. That's boring. Wrestling it there is smart. Keeps the Yeti totally irrelevant.
Now he either has to roll a 4+ or blitz to be relevant. Neither of which are great options.
Now, okay.
I think it's another island.
Where's this Pestigore going?
Forward.
Okay, there. I see. Now, if this beast really stupids, the Norse can score with 2 GFIs. Oh, doesn't activate the beast. Activated the beast for a 1 in 27 a bull block on turn 8. Doesn't activate it now.
Oh, the other game I cast, there was an activated beast that really stupided and like really screwed over the Nurgle. And I was like, oh, I had a Herringzord like base the Chorf moment, but it was like, why did you activate the beast? Screaming.
So, one die pow. Nice. Frees up this Ulf and gets a break for it. Ooh, and gets a KO. That's something.
It's something.
It's not a lot, but it's something.
It's not nothing.
I can't believe it's not butter.
It's greater than Epsilon.
Wow. You must be fun at parties.
Most of the parties that I've been to, you have also been to, so you can probably judge that.
I live 1,000 kilometers from you. That is a really sad statement.
I mean, it's true.
Can you surf this guy? No, not quite. You need one more movement.
I don't go to parties. I only do parties when there are people around, and those people tend to be you.
I don't do parties. No, I know. It's not really your jam. To be fair, it's not really my jam either.
My jam's in the fridge. It's raspberry.
You only have one kind of jam?
Yes.
But a sad fuck are you?
It's one who never eats jam. It's probably expired.
I think we might get in trouble for this cast.
No. I've been way worse than this. If this is what breaks, somehow they keep letting us like do div reviews and stuff. Like, if people didn't want this, they would have said it 3 seasons ago.
The beast. Hey, something in the game happened that's relevant.
The beast is gone, which is actually a pretty big deal. It's going to free up a berserker.
Yeah, and I mean, it also lets you get another 2 die here on this Pestigore if you want it, which I think you do. Now, what I am a little concerned about is that there is a natural 2 die on your ball after making a 1 in 9able block. You 2 die, 2+2 die, where you're hunting for a POW, but this is Lewis and he will get a POW. I guarantee.
You could do that in the other order.
Guarantee.
You could make a non-1 in 9able block and then have to do 2 GFIs to get the 2 die, but that's probably worse because then the 2 die is a 1 in 9able.
It is definitely worse. Yes.
You could just switch the Nurgle Warriors to do it with. I do not advocate that decision, but it is a decision.
It depends on what you consider a fail. If you consider everything, like if a 1 in 9 is a fail for you for the Nurgle, like if all you care about is getting the POW, then it is a 1 in 36 into 2 2+s versus a 1 in 9 into 1 2+. Oh, okay.
I don't think all you care about is getting the POW. You're putting a Nurgle warrior on the ball. Like, I think... oh. Well, goodbye. The killer's dead.
Well, if one foul's gonna stick, that was a good one to have stick.
The first one that doesn't result in being sent off kills the Pestigore. All right, so what we've learned is that this ref really hates fouls that don't do anything. Like, if the foul does something, he's totally good with it. But if it's a stun or worse, you're off. Like, it's not that this ref dislikes fouls, it's that this ref, like, dislikes half-assed fouls. Like, no, you could have done that better. You could have done that better. Fuck you, get off.
David, it was a 9, which is exactly what he needed to break armor into an 11. So a perfect foul.
Well, there you go.
I like the pause as Lewis reflects upon his life choices.
Yep. So actually dead.
Yeah, I mean, suddenly this is looking kind of.
I mean, it's worth noting that means Luis now only has 3 Pestigores and none of them are a killer, which is a little frustrating because he's now got what, 2 claw options, or he's got 1 claw option on his team now, which is not exactly where you want to be as a Nurgle.
Oh yeah, it was a dead. It was a legitimate dead.
Straight up dead. Yeah, the ref doesn't call perfect fouls, exactly. He only hates half-assed fouls that don't result in permanent injuries. If you go all in and make it blatant, he's totally down with that.
If you want us to stop talking about random garbage, just kill something important.
That's true.
You know what that's not doing? Killing the Yeti. So 50 points from Gryffindor.
But 200 points to Gryffindor for standing up to your friends, Neville.
Not 10.
The Harry Potter memes. So you could... I mean, first of all, you get a 2-die on the Nurgle warrior here, which is kind of nice. You can also potentially, if you Mighty Blow piling on hit this Nurgle warrior and you remove it, you could theoretically get a handoff to this guard piece and score this. I don't know if you want to score this turn because there's a lot of KOs for the Nurgles. You might want to delay it a bit, but there's a scoring opportunity here. But you have to remove the Nurgle warrior, or else it adds 1 to the catch at least. But there's only 1 stink on the Garter right now, I think.
Yes.
There's only the stink from Dathazan Rabies.
It is, it's a range 3 square.
Your mom is a range 3.
A range 3 square?
Yeah. Like,
she is square shaped, but also 3? I don't understand.
Yeah, she's a what is that? A 6x6?
Well, I mean, okay, yes.
Look, I'm just saying your mom takes up a substantial portion of a football field. That's it.
Oh, okay. Like if there were like 3 of my mom side by side, or like spread out a little bit.
Yeah, I was looking at that and I was like, I'm just not going to say it. It's fine.
Oh yeah, because the diagonals are 3 as well.
Yeah. Don't you actually me, David?
Actually. Push his glasses up nose.
Doesn't even break armor, so. I mean, we still do have the option to 4+ handoff and try to tie up this Pestigore somehow, but I think that's going to be a tough ask. I think you just delay for a bit. Now, my question is, how do you keep the ball safe? Right now, the Pestigore doesn't have a very good hit on it.
Hopes and dreams.
That just reminds me of the song from Undertale called Hopes and...
One day I'll actually finish that game.
I mean, there are 2 different kinds of game there, right? There's the pacifist run, which is for producing tears, and then there's the genocide run, which is for hating yourself and your keyboard. Yeah, I think you do just take it back.
Take it back now, y'all.
I know 1 hop this time is exactly where I was going with that. Trust. Oof, that's a bad one. Or wild animal.
He tried.
Do you double GFI for a 2-die on this Nurgle Warrior? If so, you would have done it with a dirty player, I think, there.
Cha-cha real smooth.
I don't know if you risk it at this point.
He does
So
not.
this is a bit scary now. I mean, the Nurgle are very overwhelmed. You can throw a 1-die with a blockless piece is your best current move. Doesn't blitz from the floor with this Nurgle Warrior is interesting. He could go for the very spicy Nurgle Warrior dodge. Oh, or that.
No, he
dodge.
just got he's got two heads. Like he's
Yes,
just
I forgot. Fails the GFI. Oh, one reroll left. And does not get the POW.
Nope.
Told you. Should have gone with the Nurgle Warrior. Didn't need a GFI. Just a 4+ dodge. With dodge. Would you like to know what this ball carrier is, Ben?
Moose Tash?
Surfable. The ball carrier is surfable.
No, he's not. He's got sidestep.
Does he? Is it hiding? No, he doesn't. I'm talking about the Nurgle ball carrier.
Oh, okay. When you say the ball carrier, I think you mean the person with the ball.
Are you the most pedantic? Actually, no, it's not surfable because you need to fill some squares. Oh, you can fill the squares though, actually. Ooh. That's a stun. So if you blitz with Cheney on the diagonal, push him down here, and then fill the hole with the dirty player, you can surf the ball carrying Pestigore, but you're also not making any forward movement, and you have 2 turns to score. That said, you're on movement 7.
Can you?
Yes, because Cheney can come up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Push him here. Blitz. You can do it without any GFIs.
I don't see where you're pointing to.
So Cheney runs up between these 2 Norse players, blitzes the Pestigore.
Yes. Oh.
Pushes it once, pushes it twice.
Jump up.
There's no jump. Cheney's standing up. I'm
like,
talking about surfing the Tonagore's Pestigore. You can do it. That's all I'm saying. I don't know if it's worth it, but you can.
Oh, I'm looking at the wrong one.
I know.
Oh, there's another one. That's just
that one matters a lot less. But I mean, the removals are racking up. Look, I don't have the crayons to explain this to Ben.
I see what you mean now.
Elects to just go. Ooh, does that need a reroll?
No.
Doesn't technically, but man, that's.
You have to roll a 1 in 9-able thing now, I guess, if you want to get him away.
Or you just block him and wait till next turn. You're in pretty good position. Well, the problem with 1 in 9 dodging is where do you go that's safe from this Pestigore? You don't have a blitz to take this Pestigore. He's at
Nowhere.
4. You could get in his way and sideline cage. Am I ahead? Have I been future shadoring?
No, but you've been like, you're still doing the like, you can move this guy here and move this guy there. And people are I don't know. I was
trying to describe it. I was like, the ball carrying Pestigore, of which there is one.
I saw Agi and assumed I was ball carrying because I'm not paying attention.
Wrestle tackle. What the fuck is wrong with you?
You also said ball carrier and wasn't referring to the person holding the ball.
Ball carriers are there. You should have at least gotten the area of the pitch correct.
Well, then you started talking about surfing a Nurgle player, and I was like, and with Cheney, and I was like, what, the guy in front of Cheney? You're crazy. You know, it's been a long week.
Yeah, it really has. I feel you. All right, so
don't hire consulting companies.
I wasn't planning to. Can you cage up here? So yeah, you can do it with the Berserker. The problem is if you 1 in 9 this dodge, you're fucking dead. It would be easy for Tonagors to blitz this dirty player down, pick up the ball, and run off. And then you just lose because you wouldn't be able to get the ball in time. So this is a really tough call. This is a 1 in 9 that, if we see it, is gonna, just be instantly game losing.
It's gonna I don't know, some sort of.
Oh, and you have to marginalize 2 players. This isn't. What are you doing here?
marking the edgy guy so he can't dodge away easily.
Aight. Yeah, this is how I feel about this.
Well, we can block the Nurgle Warrior. Nope, we're just gonna hit the ball.
Goes for the block. This means there is going to be a 3+ with a built-in reroll
2+
into a natural 2. He has 2 hits, right? So 2+ into another natural 2 die. There's nothing you can do.
But we do get to hit a Nurgle Warrior, or 2 Nurgle Warriors, actually.
Yeah, but this one is blocked. So, good luck.
Well, you get to hit him twice.
You do. Figuring out whether he wants to stand firm, I think you do. Foul appearance in the second one, you definitely don't reroll that.
So you only get to hit him once. Hello, kitty. Don't headbutt the microphone.
Kill it! Not dead.
He tried.
Do you dodge the guard out? You don't, he says.
I don't, he says. I don't think he would refer to himself in the third person. Then again, I've never met Larkstar, so I don't know.
Do you know Larkstar? I feel like Larkstar might refer to himself in the third person.
I almost did, but he was like busy playing a game or something that one time I went down to San Diego and offered to meet him.
Just a stun.
Or something. I don't remember what the details were. 130 could fill you in.
Okay, just 1/1. That's enough ones. No POW. Is he going to commit his last reroll is the question. I think the answer has got to be no, but what do I know? Gets a double.
Bonk.
Gotta go, yeah. Next to your guy. A break here would be brutal. No break. Scatter is good for the Nurgle, though. Can dodge out on a 2+. No built-in reroll for the dodge, but there is one for the pickup. Gets the ball on blodge. I mean, that was a ballsy reroll.
Yes, it really was.
Now, how do you stop yourself from being surfed?
By going there, because the Ulf can't reach.
Okay, well, the other Ulf can now. You can't be surfed, but you can be hit.
Yeah, well, even if he stayed where he was, the other Ulf is movement 5, so he couldn't surf him.
This is the problem now. Like, Larkstar has 2 turns to score, and like, how's he gonna do it? We are gonna get a return 2 die on the Ulf, which a knockdown here would be so brutal. Oh, doesn't reroll. Because he just didn't want him to free it up.
I feel like I would have tried that dodge. I mean, like, failing the dodge means you lose the game, but if you don't...
But sometimes you have to make those. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I think that he chickened out a little bit. I understand why he did, but at the end of the day, sometimes you got to throw things that if they fail, you lose the game.
I mean, so, like, what is a 2 die where you need a POW, but, like, if you can get a reroll to it...
Where's that Berserker going?
It's a 51% to get at least 1 POW if you get a 2 die and then reroll it.
Was that a misclick? I feel like that was a misclick. He just ran over to the sideline, and it's now just gonna stand there.
He's a scoring threat.
He's a surf bait. I mean, I think he is actually a scoring threat, but I'm confused.
I mean, he's a scoring threat, but he's also one that's surfable, I guess.
Not really, because there's no Nurgle in range. Okay, so we're going in with the Ulf. We can push him. 1 and 9. Okay. This is fine. Don't fail the GFI. Don't fail the GFI.
Oh, man.
This is some tense shit right here.
I'm terrified.
Oh, he's throwing it from Stink. Oh.
No! God damn it.
Lark. So punished.
Yeah, he wanted to be out of range of the Pestigore that was on the ground, is what that is.
Yes, I now see what was happening there.
Oh man, that one.
Not a great turn for Lark. That's game because he can just literally run out of range, and there's nothing that.
Yeah, man. If that Ulf wasn't movement busted.
Hey, at least he took his pound of flesh, shall we say? Garmal Gores is dead. The 168 out of 176 SPP killer Pestigore.
Yeah, I mean, he got something out of it. This Pestigore is now going to be like, okay, cool, see you later. And yeah, Luis is going to breathe a huge sigh of relief.
I think this was a good example of like choosing to do something that is theoretically less risky, but opens you up to counterplay, where you could have probably screened off a little bit better if you just tried to roll the dodge. Sure, you could have lost the game, but
I mean, one in 9, you
also
just
lost the game. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say 1 in 9, you just lose if you fail that dodge. But you could also, if 8 of 9, you get yourself like safe enough that there's nothing the Nurgle can really do about it. Whereas the other way, you're not likely to turn over, but the Nurgle have a 50% chance to knock you over, and that like they actually have actions they can do. So I think I would have liked the 1 in 9 or the dodge attempt rather than
because like you said, rolling for POWs is about a 50%. So for the reroll,
yeah, 51, I think. Well, Luis is gonna be going on. Unfortunately for him, he's down to 3. He's was already down to 3 Nurgle warriors. Only one of them has kill skills, and he just lost his massive Pestigor. He also lost a Rotter, but who really cares? So he's going pretty diminished into his next game. If his next game is one where those kill skills are going to matter, like a high armor, like if it's another Chaos, Nurgle, Orc, Lizards, like any of those high armor sort of punchy teams, he'll be pretty sad to not have that Pestigor.
I don't know why Lewis just decided to give away a bunch of blocks here. Oh, I guess Cheney can hit the ball technically, but he couldn't. There's no one to recover, so it doesn't matter.
Nope.
I don't know about that travel. I don't feel like he prioritized damage. I think he was just trying to tie pieces up that he needed to tie up.
I mean, so technically, he could have.
This could be a big pile on.
I mean, if you were willing to roll a billion D dice, Red Sparrow, that lineman who's marked up on the Nurgle Warrior, is in range of the Pestigor. He'd have to do a boatload of dumb dodges. But if you blitzed with Cheney and the ball scattered closer to your side, he could potentially recover it. But I don't think he has any way of getting it somewhere more useful after he's recovered it. Like, I don't think he can
dodge into a foul. Incoming respect foul on the only remaining good player on the team.
Dead. Send off. Damn it. This ref decided to give up.
The ref has decided he picked a side.
The ref has given up. Well,
GG is being exchanged, and Lewis will move on to the next round.
Yes.
Commiserations to Larkstar. Almost pulled it out there at the end. Just didn't quite get the dice he needed.
So he'll be... Actually, we don't know who'll be going on to play. I was going to say one of these two teams and name them, but we don't actually... One of those hasn't been... One of the round of 64 games hasn't been played yet, or at least not put in the document, so I can't tell you. It's going to be one of... Dreams of Golden Streams, One True Path, or Pork Squad, depending on the One True Path and Pork Squad game. And then the Dreams of Golden Streams and One True Path and Pork Squad winner. That may have already been played, it's just not in the brackets document, which is what I'm looking at.
MVP on the Dirty Player Wrestle Rotter. And MVP on the MNG Blodge Step. Neither one really needed more skills, so I think you're sad about both.
Yeah, well, the runner at least levels out of it.
Yeah, maybe he's gonna roll something spicy. Plus strength on that piece would be great.
That's true. Oh, well, plus any sort of stat would be good.
Yeah. Plus Agi is good, certainly. Yeah, but it's less good on a Blodge Step. Tackle piece.
This is the defensive runner. Yeah, this is the defender, like diving tackle runner, not the offensive one. Strength, I think
as a normal, you take tackle, and tackle would be fine.
Yeah, exactly. Tackle is good. If you get movement or strength, I would probably take those.
I don't love shadowing on movement 7. I know North shadowing is a meme, but...
I mean, diving tackle, sidestep, blodge, shadowing is annoying. That's such an annoying
player.
Right,
but you can't use those skills in the way... Well, you can use shadowing to keep following if the diving tackle fails, but like...
I think I prefer tackle first. I
think tackle just gives more like consistent utility.
But both because you have an available movement 7 block tackle piece to hit something if you need to, but also because you're going to cancel out, opposing dodge rolls from people that are marked up on this guy. And based on his current skill set, blodge, step, diving tackle, he's probably going to be marked up on people. So the tackle is going to cancel out the free dodge rolls from that aspect, which I think is useful. Well, there you go. That's been one of the last, or one of the first, I should say, round of 32 matches in the playoffs. There was one earlier today, and there was one yesterday. So there were, I think, 3 into the playoffs now in the round of 32. There are no more playoff games or Challengers Cup games today, according to the calendar. So I guess I'll just have to let all you lovely folks go. There are a boatload tomorrow. And
I think Sunday is the crazy day too. There's like a ton of them being.
If you want to watch Blood Bowl, there is a game that starts between Wolfbark's Mischief and Average Joe's Gym at 2 p.m. my time, which is 6 p.m. UTC, and then there's a game every 2 hours from that point on until 4 a.m. UTC. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games tomorrow, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them are just like 2 hour, 2 hour, 2 hour, 2 hour, like right after each other. So there's an entire afternoon or evening of Blood Bowl filled goodness for you tomorrow if you'd like. Sunday has a similar number of games, but they're all really clustered up. There are 6 games that take place over a 3-hour period on Sunday, starting at about 4 p.m. UTC. So there's a ton going on over the next couple days.
Yeah, it's a good weekend for Blood Bowl.
Yeah, I hope you guys have Sunday is a mess in terms of casters and stuff.
Oh yeah, all the casters are like, what are we gonna do?
I mean, there's been a lot of the first week is always a huge scramble because there's so many games, and people don't really know what to do with it. Like there's not enough casters, and there's like a million games all happening at the same time, and there's like scrambles the last few seconds trying to find people who are available to do the casting of every game. It's like, oh man, there's a game in 5 minutes and no one signed up. Who can do this one? It's pretty nuts. But things should settle down now that we're into the next week and a little bit more controlled. But yeah, I'm playing T-Self right in the middle of all that nonsense tomorrow or Sunday. By the way, like there's 6 games going on, 7 if you include my clan game against T-Self.
I'm playing Papa Nasty in the OSI in an hour and a half. So that's the thing.
I'm playing a minors coach in the OSI on Saturday.
Ooh, tell me.
I'm trying to remember his name. He plays Chorfs. It's a like drunken something or other. Oh god, why can't I remember the team name? I just looked it up. Or Distillers? Something Distillers?
Oh, the Drunken Distillers. Who is that?
Man, this is bad because I was literally just talking to him the other day about like scheduling this game. Karum. It's Demented Distillers, and it's Karum. Cairumm. Yeah,
yep, I know him.
There we go. Play him on Saturday. Anyway, that's been a bunch of nonsense. There's going to be a bunch of Blood Bowl coming up, both on Saturday and Sunday. Some stuff from me for my own personal things, and a bunch of playoff stuff. So go watch the playoff stuff. It's probably more interesting. But thanks everybody for hanging out. I hope you had a good time. We will see you next time we stream. And until then, I'm Instigmans.
And I'm Star.
See you later, folks.